Hola, and welcome to the Ancestor Hour, where we have intimate conversations.
Girl, we're going to be talking about it all.
Yeah, we are. And how we've reclaimed our medicina.
And how you can too. So grab your cafecito and join us on this conversation. Hello, everybody. Oh my gosh, it's been a hot minute, Georgina.
It really has.
I'm
But we're
excited
here and we're alive.
Yeah, we've been getting a lot of messages of where have you guys been? Where have you been? Where are the new episodes? So here we are. We're back.
We are back and we are truly excited for this season because things are gonna look different around here. And Danny and I have really created some intentions for presence and for slowness and to be in community with everybody. So we're really, really excited for this new this new journey of Ancestor Hour with everybody.
Yeah, we really are committing, aren't we? We're committing to having a práctica once a month. And we're also committing to, because I know and we know that the connections to the elders, the connections to those spaces of community and getting to understand and hear from the voices of the elders is really important. So we're bringing some elders in.
Absolutely. And it's not only to continue to help, support the medicine that we each carry, but also so we can take that into our communities, take that into our homes. There's so much heaviness going on. And that's another reason, it's taken us so long to get back here because I'm sure many of you are experiencing so many different emotions with not only what's happening outside in the world, um, across the globe, with our brothers and sisters, our hermanas, our hermanos all over the place, you know, um, having so much injustice go on. Our hearts are heavy and we need those words of wisdom, right? We need those reminders. We need to call back those places that can help our nervous system because the fight is here, right? All of our collective voices, are feeling those things. And so we need to ground ourselves in what better medicine than to talk about these things with community and with elders.
Yeah, I feel very much like this is something that I know that, at least for me, I have needed. And I know that for you as well, is just getting this connection to that wisdom of the elders. This is literally how we started our journey, is looking for elders and wanting to connect with the wisdom of the ancestors. And this is what we're bringing to everybody, is really that connection, that understanding, that, we're still baby elders and that we are learning and that we're growing as well. And we've been experiencing the world in the same way, in the same capacity that everybody else has. And I think that, a reintroduction into this new phase of ancestor hours is really a beautiful way to start um,
Yeah.
this next chapter, right? It feels like a next chapter, at least for me, it does.
It really does. And um, so let's share. Danny, what's been going on with you? Let's get into it. Let's get into that reintroduction.
Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. So many things. So many things to connect to. It feels like it's been a whirlwind ever since the first episode of us introducing ourselves. And I feel
Yeah.
like I was such a, I was such a baby, a baby back then. And it feels I was such, and that maybe right now I'm more of an adolescent in this phase of my life. But, my life has changed so much from the space of wanting to control and kind of trying to figure everything out to allowing things to really be the way that they are and slowing down to a space where I'm more present, more aligned with the things that I'm wanting to move into. And I think a lot of that had to do with letting go of so much. I had so much, not to say that I don't have a lot of stuff on the plate right now, but I feel like the things that I had on my plate before were, was a lot, and a lot of it wasn't aligned. And, I was going through a lot of stuff with my daughter, and she's doing so much better now. There's been a huge shift, and we're actually celebrating. We celebrated a year of being in and out of hospitals last December, and like it's just been so amazing to witness. And not that we don't have days, right? That's not to say like everything is perfect, because life is life. And but um her capacity of really seeing herself in the space of getting to know who she is, understanding where her triggers are coming from, really like helping herself has been such a difference maker that allows the capacity, or at least my nervous system, to relax, to get connected, to really um see life in the small presence of the day, and go through my life in that space. So there's been that shift that has allowed me to get more connected to my own healing, my own mentoring, and like finding a mentor, finding elders, and really reclaiming. Um, and I say reclaiming because I feel like before I had reclaimed my ancestry, my lineage, but now it feels more embodied. I guess is what it is. So I'm living in an embodied focus body at this moment.
I love that so much. And, I think our journey has been similar in so many ways. And I think that's why we continue to be called to share our stories, because when we talk and, share what we're going through, we're just like, oh my gosh, girl, me too. Right. And so it makes it like, of course we need to share this with community, of course we need to keep having the podcast and be real and have real conversations with what we're experiencing. And the fact that she's doing so well and your nervous system has settled into a place where you can now receive of yourself is incredibly powerful. And I think there's something about this stage in our life that allows us to do that. And,
Yeah.
Danny and I, when we first started Ancestor Hour, is because we were at the beginning stages of our reclamation into our own medicine, into our own knowing, into um, what that looked like for us, because everybody's journey is different. But that doesn't mean we have to do it alone, right? We can find sisters, we
Yeah.
can find elders, we can find, those voices that speak to us, and those people that witness us. And as we have gone through this, I've in, things greatly shifted for me. I had a lot of loss in my life, and coming, you know, through that, now there's new life brewing. I'm going to be an abuelita, which is
Mm.
absolutely crazy.
Abuelita,
and just so like, oh
that's
my
so
God,
beautiful. Oh
I
my gosh.
know. I know. So, coming, and being the matriarch, right? Um, of this new generation. My mom, obviously, she is the matriarch of our family, but stepping into that role of abuelita and the lessons and the story. And my daughter-in-law gave me this beautiful book, and it's just like, what lessons, what stories do you want to pass down? And I was just like,
Mm.
oh my gosh, how powerful is that? Right? What is my
Yeah.
story? And it really got me thinking as to, my story has always been, I'm a mother and a partner and I'm a this, and that embodied piece that, Danny was just talking about. I resonate with that so much, because when we've been taking care of everybody else for so long, sometimes we forget um, what our heart is longing for, and what our hands are longing to create, and what our body's been longing, the places to be in. And so when we finally are in a place where maybe we feel everybody's taken care of, we can take care of ourselves in a completely different way. And I mean, Danny, doesn't have to share her business, but I'm going through perimenopause. And so my body
Oh,
is
girl,
all out of
yes.
whack. And
Yes,
so
me
we've
too.
had this conversation. Yes, her too. So, but I wasn't going to call her out because that's her business. But the way that our body is telling us, listen, you're not young anymore. Your body's changing, your mood is changing, your this is changing. You need to slow down and listen to us. You need to slow down
Yeah.
and listen to what it's going to take to not have so much stress, to not have so much overwhelm, to nourish your body in a new way. Like, I never understood, like, all the older people who had all those pill bottles on their nightstand. Girl, that's me.
Oh,
I got
girl,
my
I
vitamin
just don't
C,
even.
vitamin B.
All the
I got
vitamins in
me
the
this.
entire world. I'm like, oh, do I
Literally.
need some like bone density stuff? Oh my gosh.
Literally.
It's a new,
Like, we
and I
got our
think that
fish oil. Yes.
all of it. I think that, but I think that that's the power of coming into this phase. And this is why I'm really excited about these upcoming and these new episodes, because I think that there is such a power to the phase that we are in. And it reminds me, I went through I went to the university last week to
Mm.
give a talk about creativity and social entrepreneurship, and it was beautiful. It was at Pratt University, and it was to the creatives. And I had a whole thing ready, a whole PowerPoint, everything, like all the things, and practicing. I was practicing for like 2 weeks, and moving through all the different things that I wanted to say. And at the end of the day, what the students shared with me afterwards, when they came to say thank you, and all the things, just the beautiful love that they shared, was we didn't know that somebody like you existed. We didn't know
Mm.
that you could be creative and spiritual and all these things all wrapped into one. And I think a lot of times we forget that the journey that we've been on, the journey that life has given us, that is the medicine. And now in our late 40s, and into perimenopause, I think that we get to understand. It's like all of a sudden our body comes on to say, hey, pay attention. Like everything that you've been going
Yes.
through, all the lessons, all the things, there's something that's the abuelita, right? There's something to this.
Mm.
And that's why I'm excited to share, because I think even when we started this podcast, it's like, oh, what am I going to say? How am I going to be? How am I going to show up? And now it's like, just like freaking show up the way that you are, like
Yes,
messy,
you get what you get. Yes.
messy. Sometimes you get what you
Yes.
get. And I think that this is what this age is.
Yes. And it's so fucking badass. I'm just gonna say that. It's just so fucking badass to, to finally be at a place where you're just like, you know what? These are my thoughts. These are my thing. Fuck it. This is what I'm wearing. This is how I'm
Yeah.
leaving the house. This is fuck it. Like, this is what I
I'm
want to
going to
do
be
with
wearing
my
my
day. This is
moo-moos.
my
And
type.
let me just tell you.
Oh, tell them the moo-moos. Tell them the moo-moos.
What is it? Like,
It's so good. You need to tell them.
It is so good. The moo-moos. I love it.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
I think that's what it is. It's like
yes,
all the
yes,
things.
yes. It's all the things, and it's freeing all the things. It's freeing our voice.
Yes.
And it's freeing our body, and it's freeing our thoughts, and it's freeing the creative, right? It's allowing those things to actually have a home, right?
Yeah.
Because we didn't make space for them before. We were so
Yeah.
busy taking care of all the things and all the people and all of the places that all of those things didn't have a home. But now
Exactly.
we're creating a home within us.
Yeah.
And that's what we want Ancestor Hour to be. We want it to be a home for you to come and to sit and to listen and to share and be part of our community, so you can create a home within yourself. Whether it inspires you,
Exactly.
whether you get an idea, whether it gets you out of your head for 30 minutes, come sit with us. It's going to be an amazing year.
It is. I think that what I go back to is, that 20-something year old woman who had her babies and was running around not knowing, how to be loved, how to be seen, how to all the things. And when I look at myself at that age, I just want to go back and just say, you're enough, and if you're in that phase of your life of running around with little kids, like, listen, we see you, we've been there. And I really do think that if somebody came to me, an elder came to me and I connected to elders at that age with my children, oof, how different do you think that we would be? Like, no longer would we be trying to do things on our own. We would understand that it's a community, right? We no longer would we be going and being insecure and doing all the things, because we would have community of women and elders to share their wisdom. I mean, I keep on thinking about that. And that's why I think that the elder part of this is going to be really exciting for the mamas for every age. I mean, I think everybody should be
Absolutely.
listening.
And so many of us don't have access. Yeah. So many of us don't have access to elders for a myriad of reasons. Families moving to new countries, um, elders in their communities, you know, their voices have been lost. Maybe you don't know where to find or where to look or how to connect. Um, this this is something that Danny and I both have been able to to really benefit from, and it has gotten both of us through some really hard times because of of the wisdom and the lessons and the support that we were able to have during our grief and our sadness and our heaviness. And those aren't things that we want to gatekeep. We want to invite our community in. We want to invite the elders in. We want to invite the wisdom in, because like Danny, said earlier, she's still learning. I'm still learning. We're forever students. And so if you can come here and learn something new and then incorporate that into your life, bring it back to your family, to heal something, to learn something, to grow something, then we're elevating the whole collective. And that's what we want to do. We want to help support to elevate the collective, because shit be heavy.
Hmm. I mean, I think that that's why we're all being so activated at this moment. And, for those of you who
Absolutely.
are listening and, feeling, like we got a message not too long ago, Georgina, that said, I want to hear what the elders say. Like, do you only have this podcast on Apple? And it was really um amazing to be able to connect with that person, and also to really have the reminder that, you know, this podcast is everywhere. You can find it on Spotify, you can find it on Apple, you can find it on Podbean. There's a whole, wherever you listen to podcasts, you can connect to this, to our Ancestor Hour. And the fact that there's a need to be able to listen not only to our stories, because, you know, we share from the space of where we are and what we have done and how we have moved through grief, through, through scares, through all of it, through and even through joy. I think that we give from where we are, and it's really beautiful to be able to come in and share the wisdom of the elders, as we connect with them. Because again, Georgina, you just said it, there's a lot of communities out there and people out that are out there listening who want to be able to connect but just don't know how to do it.
Absolutely. And so we appreciate you so much for being here, for following us. Yet again, we have an amazing, amazing year in store for you, with so many stories, so much medicine, so much love. And if you haven't noticed, we're not going to sugarcoat things. This is how we talk. This is how we share. It's always going to be honest, because the truth is, our life isn't a script. Danny and I have shared a lot of really hard things, but we also want to share with you all the joy too, because the duality of life is both. So we really hope that
Yeah.
if you're new here, that you go back and listen to our previous episodes, if that's calling to you. If you've been here for a while, we are so excited and so grateful for the continued support, because this year is going to be fire.
I'm excited. So
I'm so
on that
excited.
fire, on that fire note, how are you really doing with perimenopause? I mean, are
Girl,
you like, girl, let's get in it, because I feel like if we're gonna give everybody an update, I feel like we have to give.
let's be real. Okay, let's be real. What it's been doing. Okay, so for me, and Danny and I have talked. Daniela and I have talked about this. We're each going through things. We both have gotten our labs done. We're trying to be proactive because our bodies were not working. And Danny can share her story, but I gained like 17 pounds in like 5 months out of nowhere. I don't know where the meno belly came from, but ahí está sentadita. Like if she got a ticket to be on this ride. She didn't pay no ticket, but here she is. Ahí sentadita. just chilling. I was just like, extra
Like
passenger,
what
no,
happened?
thank you. Yes,
Listen, I looked
for
at myself
reals.
naked, like I
Oh
looked at
my
myself naked
God.
a couple days ago and I'm like, oh man, like what is that? What
You
is
know, and
that
it's not,
belly?
yes, and it's not even because I don't love my body. Because listen,
Listen,
she's had babies, she's been through grief, she's been through this, I mean, she's a fighter, right? She's a warrior, she's doing the thing. But
girl.
por favor, ¿quién necesita esa panza? Like nobody, like there was, seriously. So that's been happening. That's great. That's great. I was hitting a spot, and I don't know if you had this, where I was like getting like afternoon crashes. Like by 1 or 2 o'clock, I wanted a nap. Like I was
Yes.
so tired. My body
Yes.
was
I
just
still
so
want a nap.
exhausted. Seriously, like it is so. Oh, and my hair is
Oh
thinning.
no, I
It keeps
can't.
falling out.
Like what?
Like
Like what happens? Like this is just not like this is like what?
like
Like
it's a
why?
whole thing.
Like why is it that we
It's a
get the
whole
meno babies?
Yes.
Listen, let my boobs are like they're south. They're like the nipples are all the way down. Like I can't.
Yep.
I can't.
Yeah, they're constantly
And
just
the
pointing to
and
the
then on
north.
top of that, the hair. Like
Yes.
I don't understand. And listen, like so of course we've been to the labs and all the things, and
Yes.
and my
And we're trying.
gynecologist who's a man, like my gynecologist
Oh, yeah,
who's a
yeah.
man. I love him. And honestly, like he has seen everybody because it's like a family, it's a family affair. Like once we find
Yes.
a doctor that we love, we're like the whole family goes to him, right? So he's seen my grandmother,
Yes.
my aunts, my cousins, me, like everybody, right? And so I finally said to him, like, I mean, look at this. I can't. This belly is. I can't. I've done all the things. Like I've cut out carbs. I've cut out gluten. Like what else can I've cut down all the things. Like this is not right. And I finally did give in. I mean, this is not for everybody, obviously. Like if you are on a journey like we are, you go, I really highly suggest doing what is
Best
good
for you.
your body. But
Yes.
that's for you. And for me, I was like, give me the freaking hormones. Like, give it to me. Because at this point, I've been trying to do natural since 2020. I think it was 2023 that I started on this like hormonal journey. And it's not working. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do the thing. And it's been really great. I mean, there's been moments that that I'm pretty good. It's been a beautiful, but the meno belly is still there, girl.
Also, same girl. Same. She and I, Danny and I have been talking about all the things, and it's very interesting because we share what we've been doing, just like sisters, just like comadres do, right? We're having these pláticas because this is what we talk about, and this stage in our life is also a new cycle of our life, right? And what that's bringing in, and what our body is also releasing.
I'm really loving, and this is like something that I think that you should really talk about, because I'm really loving how you're bringing in the of course, like the connection to the hormones and doing it in that way. But I really love how you're connecting it to ancestral things.
Oh, it is so good. And it was a piece that was missing for me, right? Because my mom didn't really talk about it. My grandma never, she came from a generation that we didn't talk about, women's bodies changing. And my mom's just like, yeah, I think I got hot flashes and then I was done. But I was just like, okay, but what else happens? Like there has to be more than just these symptoms that feel, and honestly, scientifically, we go through these things for 10, 15 years, from perimenopause to menopause to postmenopause. Like, there is a whole cycle that's happening. And if we look out into the world, it's just like, oh, well, she just no longer has a period. So she's old now, right? Like, but that can't be it. There has to be more than the stories that we didn't get to hear.
Mm.
And I shared with Daddy that I went into a deep dive. I was just like, what is the piece that's missing? Because there has to be medicine in this. There has to be wisdom in this. There just has to be. And we're just disconnected from that. And I went down a complete rabbit hole of trying to gather
Mm.
stories and trying to gather these voices and trying to do some research. Now, I'm going to tell you, it was hard because so many of the stories have been lost because they were oral stories, oral traditions, and living in a patriarchal society that's very westernized, and how, you know, we see women, because up until the last, 30 years, the majority of the medicine and the things that were being done were for men. It's just now that people
Mhm.
are finally focusing on women and women's bodies and what we need. So there was so much that has been lost. And I'm really, really excited that there is wisdom that's coming forth, because we're going to need it, girl.
We're so gonna need it. And I think that that's the part that I'm really excited about your work and how you're moving into some of the things that you're moving into, because it is about that connection. We came onto this podcast to really reclaim, right? We've been reclaiming for like more than a few years, and we're still learning, we're still connecting, and you're still bringing in that. And I think that is such a powerful medicine for women who are going through this phase in their life, because we don't know, right? I talked to my mom, and my mom is like, yeah, there was hot
Mhm.
flashes and sometimes we got moody, but there was nothing. And then,
Mhm.
I talked to the women in the Amazon, because that's part of what I work with. I work with the women in the Amazon in Ecuador.
Yes.
And when I went to the community, when I was having like, I was in the hot flash era of my life. And I said to them, like, do you have anything for this? Like, is there any plant medicine that can help women through this phase? And they didn't really understand any of it. They were like, we don't get any of that. Like, we don't understand like moods, like going up and down or hot flashes. And it was a curiosity of mine of, they don't experience any of it. Like, what is it about this community in particular that doesn't have what we have here in the West, right? So um they have this beautiful plant that they take and they drink all the time, and that particular plant they've been drinking forever, since they were little. And that particular plant is the thing for them that helps them to regulate their hormones and helps them to connect to that cycle, and allows for the hormones to still be regulated as they go through perimenopause and into menopause. So it's a beautiful thing, but I think that the stories and those connections to the hierbas, to the plants, to all the things, I think that is such powerful work that you're doing. And I just encourage, I'm just a big, huge fan of your work, Georgina. And I just encourage the women who are going through, this phase to go and follow you and connect. And, I know that you're holding circles every single month, the community circles every single month. But I think that is just so beautiful to be able to sit in this practica of what is going on with my bodies and what are the ancestors, what has been shared in those spaces.
I love that. And thank you so much for saying that. And, it just proves that, what Danny and I have been saying is that we're still learning, right? Each phase is going to teach us each step, each road is going to teach us something new. And the way that we want to move through this space is to invite you in to continue to learn and grow with us as well, because Danny and what she's doing, she talked a little bit with all of you about, you know, speaking at a university, but the way that her medicine is evolving and art is being once again coming in all forms. It's an incredible journey that I'm so excited, to be able to witness, but also having community see, the direction that your medicine is taking you, I think is going to be really powerful because it's also so needed. People don't
Yeah.
know that they can move through medicine and art and business, that they don't know that they can incorporate these things with respect, that they can incorporate these things with honoring, you know, themselves in a way that their work, you know, can blend together in such a powerful way. And I think it's really, really important, and it's not something that we talk about enough. So I am so excited for what Danny's doing and how she's bringing that to life and pouring all her beautiful words and photography and medicine into what she's doing. You guys are going to need to check out her stuff. It's fabulous.
Oh, thank you so much. We're, we're so cool. I mean,
I know that's what
can
I'm
I just
saying.
tell you? I mean, we're both like, okay, so I went recently to, because I'm bringing out and wanting to share more of my work, and that's one of the things that this year was like, okay, you got to focus and go and share. Be like, show up in networks with people around in your area, right? So I was invited to these one of these networking events in around the area. And this is how I know we're so cool. So not that other things aren't cool, but this is how I know that what we're doing is so different. I guess
It's gonna work. Just give yourself props. Give yourself props, girl.
Because I go and of course, like the first couple questions is like, oh, what do you do? So everybody's like sharing, like, this is what they do, this is what they do, this is what they do. And then they come to me. And I was like, well, I was just in the Amazon in Ecuador, and, we were doing this and this and this, and this is what I do. I help the community, and we're a part of I'm the art director and storyteller for this foundation. And, I want the art to go into museums and galleries, and I give them the whole vision, right? And all of them, like, their mouth just dropped, and they were like, I mean, what? And I was like, they're like, wait, you go to the Amazon, like, and it was just really, it was one of those moments in my life yet again that I was like, wow, look at what we're creating, right? And I think that that's what happens when you start reclaiming. It's like, wow, you get to be in the medicine all the time, not just in moments. And we get to share this medicine out into the world. And I think that that's what makes me the most excited about both of our works, because we get to do it in a way that is exciting, and also we're learning, and also like we're in the phase of our life that we kind of don't give a shit, right? We're like, oh yeah, props, right? But we kind of don't give a shit. And we're in our truth phase, right? Like we're moving into the truth phase of our life where, okay, we're the comadres and we're the abuelitas, and, and our boobs are sagging, but who the fuck cares?
Yeah. For reals. Like,
I mean,
I
my
would
boobs are
rather be
sagging. I don't know about
comfortable than
yours,
my,
but
oh, girl, they're like all the way to my knees. It's embarrassing. They're just dragging down. I give somebody a black eye if I move too fast. So we just gotta be calmed down. I mean, for real. But the truth is, as we move through and we continue to invite these pieces and reclaim these pieces, we truly can live our life as a ceremony. And I think that's a
Mhm.
really beautiful thing. And it's a really powerful lesson that both Danny and I had to learn, because that wasn't what we were taught. That wasn't how we had lived. And we had to go through really, really hard things in order to come to this realization that, in spite of all the things that life throws at us, that we are that embodiment of our ancestors. We're able to reclaim joy and reclaim hope and reclaim love and reclaim art and reclaim our voice in this time. And it's going to look different for everybody. But as we allow ourselves to make space, we can do that for ourselves.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's
Yeah.
beautiful. So, I think that maybe we can share like how these episodes are gonna, or
Yeah.
these episodes are gonna be shared. Like, I think that the structure now is a little bit more important for Georgina and I. So, I don't know if you want to share how we're gonna move forward.
Yeah, absolutely. So previously we would do seasons and really be intentional about uh, the maybe the topics and have it a little bit more structured. But as Danny and I talked about, we're in our flow phase. We want things to feel good. We want things um, to really be natural in the way that we show up for them and not have things be so forced. So we really had to take a look at what our capacity was. We both, have things in our lives that we're doing, and but we also wanted to be really intentional. So the flow for the year is we're committing to showing up and putting out a new podcast once a month. We're going to alternate it between sharing a plática with just us. And then every other month, we're going to invite somebody to join us. And we're also going to be mixing it up with both male and female, right? We think it's really important,
Mhm.
because we're reaching out to people also who are advocating for women as well, right? And so we're going to be incorporating elders, and we're going to be incorporating artists, and we want to incorporate, true voices that help support not only the wisdom that comes with the pláticas, but also their connection to their medicine in all the forms that it comes. And so we're just really excited to share and to be in these places bringing these stories and our stories this year.
Yeah. So I even we invite you, the audience, to share if there's somebody that you are wanting to hear. If there's somebody who you say, "Oh my gosh, this would be really great for the podcast," we invite you to connect with us through the Instagram or an email, and we'll share everything in the notes of how do you connect with us.
Yeah.
But please, like, we're
Leave
really
us a
open
comment.
to,
Let us know.
yeah.
Yes, your wish list, because that's what we're doing. We have a wish list. We're making it big. We want to connect with everybody.
Yeah. So I'm really excited for that. And so expect a new episode to be up in every single month, and we're going to be consistent of what that looks like, whether it's the first 2 weeks of every single month that we're going to be dropping
Mhm.
the new episodes. And I think that's pretty much it, unless, we both have our beautiful connections to what we're
Yes,
doing.
yes. Please share,
To
Danny, how can our community, be with you in your space and connect with you?
Yeah. So I started a weekly Sunday meditation circle. So it's every single Sunday at 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, where you come in, you get connected to the energy, what's moving us through that day. And then we have a beautiful meditation that's free. And so you can sign up, and I'll put the link on here also. You can sign up and, come and enjoy a, free meditation on Sunday where you can connect with community. I think that that's probably one of the best things and my favorite things of this new phase is community, because I know that it's something that I've been craving. I've been craving community also in person, online,
Yes.
however it comes. I'm really desiring it. So, Georgina, let everybody know how they can connect with you.
Yes. So, Danny and I touched base on it a little bit this month. I hold a monthly online circle, and this month's topic is the pause, an Indigenous perspective to those who are experiencing peri and menopause, and the wisdom that comes from this phase of our life. So, if you're listening, if you'd like to join, we're going to be dropping all of our information. Uh, you know, in in the notes and all the good stuff. And you can also find me on Instagram at Mujer Magic. It's it's really, really so good to be back on here with with you, Dani, and having these platicas and having the laughs and having, all the things come up because,
Girl,
I've
I mean,
missed
I think
you
that I've missed you too. I think that this was, it's such a beautiful thing. And guys, we've missed each other so much that we
for
actually
reals.
started a newsletter together. That's called Sabiduría. So for those who are on Substack, or for those who are not on Substack, we invite you to go to Substack, because it's probably going to be the place that we are sharing a lot of our community things, whether
Yeah.
it's a práctica online every single month or weekly, or community healing. I know that, Georgina, you just had a baño. Um,
Yes,
what?
medicine making. Yeah,
Mhm.
we made spiritual baños. It was so much fun.
Yeah, so much fun, and in person. So Sabiduría, I'll drop the link here as well, so that you can come on and see. There is a paid version, and then there is a free version, so you can kind of feel into what feels good for you. But this is, I mean, I know that the world is whirling, and that we're
Yes.
going through so many changes in our life and how we're viewing things. And I think that this is why community is calling, is because we literally need people that we can sit with. We need elders that we can connect to. We need community where we can say, I need help and I need connection, and I can, and all these things that we're going through, we can do it together. So this is why I'm
Absolutely.
excited about our Substack, our connections, our monthly or weekly connections, because
Yes.
this is what we're doing. This is how we're moving into all the things, all the phases in our life.
Yes. And we invite all of you to join us. So we really do appreciate, and I say this every single time, time is one of those things that we never get back. So when you come and you join us and you share your 30 minutes with us, we truly, truly appreciate it. Um, Danny and I are so excited to have you to share, to be a part of your lives and your community. So thank you so much for for joining us.
All right, everybody. Thank you. Thank you, Georgina. We'll see you. We'll talk next month.
Next month. Bye.